on. So rhetoric traditionally has been the study of language, and being able to assess the power in that language, the persuasion in that language. But with this technical and very visual age, we have this, and I say emerging, but it's been around for decades and decades now. We have this category of visual rhetoric as well, and it's exactly what you guys have been talking about through the websites that you looked at. So it's the use of images and color to create meaning, or even feeling. So things you would want to consider would be color psychology, culture, because what is, I don't know, acceptable, appropriate, horrific in this very westernized America might be different from what is appropriate or despised in parts of Asia, right? So you have to consider that too. Focal points, we've already talked about that, because rhetoric is the art of persuasion. You're going to see that visuals play into that as well. You're already bombarded with it from a very early age. I want to show you a color psychology graphic here. Take a moment to and color psychology has both positive and negative effects. This is focusing on the positive, and you can kind of see that it gives you the arching positive. So optimism, friendly, excitement, creative, trust, peaceful, balance. And then it gives you like clarity, warmth, cheerful, confidence, youth, bold, imaginative, wise. Like these are some of the important but subsets of that. Excitement is red, but red could also be, if we were going to turn that into a negative emotion, what do you also think of when you think of red? Yeah, anger, right? Um, Violence, aggression, absolutely. So on the color psychology, we'll know that all of these have very multifaceted points here. Valerie, that's absolutely true. Any guesses as to which two colors create a sense of hunger within you? Think about your fast food restaurants. It is red and yellow. Yeah. Now, not all of them are red and yellow as predominant as McDonald's, but Chick-fil-A is red and white. Wendy's has red and yellow. I'm trying to think of other ones. I don't know. Like there's a lot of red on fast food. Not that they all are, because right, you have things like Culver's and Taco Bell and Zaxby's that kind of do different things, right? But if you take a look, a second just to look at these, it would make sense that Nickelodeon would choose orange, right? It would make sense that something like Publix wants to choose green for growth and health. And that something like Honda would want to be balanced and calm. Yeah, I'm not understanding the monster logo as peaceful. Maybe they just want to provide some dissonance there for you, right? Who knows? Good old dependable Oreos, right? Um, I don't know. I've never had a monster, but I assume since it's an energy drink that yes, it would be kind of intense. But companies do a lot of thinking through what their logo is going to look like and what their colors are going to look like. Okay, moving on. Let's just take a look at this little disturbing image right here. What exactly is being communicated and how? Matt, that's interesting, isn't it? Because that's true. I could see that. And you're right. In visual design right now, there's a huge trend towards minimalism. Yep, exactly. And we'll continue to see that kind of ebb and flow and shift. The baby is a walking advertisement. Yeah. Now, that baby at this point is probably not using Windows or Sports Illustrated or Coke or, oh, look, there's beer on his belly. Um, those sort of things, right? But like the parents probably are, and the child will grow up in a very consumer-centered society, right? Yeah, maybe. Showing how the companies will have a part in their life. From birth, we are adopted by the system of this world, watched over by big tech, and they stand up proudly as we grow up and gain enough money to buy their products. That's your takeaway. So it's such a negative takeaway, but it's kind of true, right? Um, it's got the LP logo. That's true. Very true. Although some of these logos don't even exist anymore. Like, is there even a such thing as Kinko's? I think that's actually pretty outdated. Like, I think they're all gone. Okay, moving on. What about this one? What's being communicated here? Very few wording. Sebastian?
This illustration kind of depicts kind of like with life, like when you're little, your father and your mother, the people in your life that are close to you are always like praising you because you're doing, big things at a little age, like maybe you're doing a little painting or something. But when you're older, you have higher expectations. So people, the higher you climb the ladder in the workplace or wherever, the more expectations are placed on you and the more stricter and meaner people are to you, I guess.
Ooh, that's a completely different interpretation than what I took away. But that's very interesting because we're kind of protected from some of those things as we're younger. Okay, I could see that. Emery and Madeline says breaking generational trauma. That's what I took from it. But his face is really odd. It's so different from the other ones, right? So there are definitely some things that provide dissonance in this image. But I think we could see both of those interpretations here, and they're pretty cool, right? All right, what about this one? What about this one? It's a legit advertisement, y'all. Encourage you to drink milk. It's gonna make you a handsome, muscular superhero. Yeah, of course they had milk mustaches. That's not even really a thing, right? Superman drinks milk, so should you. Yeah. The words are very small, except for got milk, right? So the focal point is definitely our superhero. Intimidation to drink milk. It's gonna laser eye you if you don't, right? Okay, but let's look at the color psychology for superheroes. Superman is a lot of blue with some red and yellow. Trusty, dependable, strength, excitement, bold, youthful, optimism, clarity, warmth. Does it make sense why our superheroes kind of have the same sort of color scheme? Except for Batman, which, by the way, Batman's my favorite because he has no superpowers. He's just like, black's good. Right, that blue color. I'm trying to think of like, I don't, I didn't really watch cartoons or read comics growing up, but like Spider-Man is blue and red, right? Captain America is obviously blue, red, and white. That's right. Milk makes us strong, makes you strong, and you can trust us on that. Exactly. So, really interesting here. Okay. Last week, we introduced infographics, and I asked you to start thinking about what yours is going to look like because you're going to take whatever topic was in your informational report, you're going to take that and put it onto an infographic, and we're going to share those in class. Which site are you guys using? Did you make a determination this week?